Hi, this is Guld with Geeks On Tour, and I want to talk to you today about creating new Google Docs. There's several ways to do it. I'm going to show you a couple and tell you why I think one is the best way of creating Google Docs. Let's do it. I'm going to show you first on the computer, and then I will show you the best way on the phone. I also want you to notice that I am signed in as my imaginary friend, Alan. So I'm talking about Google Docs. The logical way to get to creating a Google Docs is to go to docs.google.com. Or if you're on a Chrome browser and you see this little 9 dots over here, you can find Docs on that. If you wanted to create a resume or a letter, a project proposal, you could choose one of these templates. But just to start a brand new document, you click this plus as a blank. I'm just going to write a simple little poem. And Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Now, I want you to notice that there is no save command. Odd, right? Well, that's because it is saved for you automatically. So I'm going to close this now. And the question is, where did it go? Well, it went to Google Drive. So either drive.google.com or you can find the icon in the grid over there. We are now looking at Alan's Google Drive, and just like old-fashioned computer systems, it works on folders. But if something isn't in a folder, then it's just out here loose. I see an untitled document. So we never gave the file a name, right? But let me open this. And that is my Mary Had a Little Lamb. So I want to give it that name. As soon as I click where a file name goes, it takes the first line and puts it in there. I just want it called Mary Had a Little Lamb, so I'm going to delete the rest of that. And if I now save, it has Mary Had a Little Lamb, but it's still just loose. I'm going to make a folder called Poetry. Up here, tap New and New Folder and call it Poetry and create. Now I see poetry in the list here. I can also see it over in the left sidebar. If I expand my drive, there is poetry, and I can find that Mary Had a Little Lamb and drag it in and drop it off in poetry. Now there's the poetry folder and Mary Had a Little Lamb. The second way of creating a document is just incredible in my mind. From anywhere where you're in a browser, regardless of what else is on the screen, you can click up in the address bar and say docs.new. And boom, you are in a document. From our lesson before, we should give it a name right away before we forget. And this one is going to be Three Blind Mice. I'll type it out. Now I can also put it in the correct folder before I'm done with it. That's this little button right here. It's a folder, and I can select poetry and say move it to there. So now when I look at the Google Drive in the poetry folder, 2 files are there. And the third, and I think best way to create a document, is to start in Google Drive and start in the folder where you want it to go. When I now click New and Google Docs, it will end up in that folder. And this one is Teapot. Here is my handle, and here is my spout. I don't have anything to remember to do now. It's all done. When I close it, I see that I have a named file of Teapot, and it is in the right folder. Now I want to show you how to do that on the phone. On the phone, you use the app. So it's the Google Drive app, and it starts off at home, which is suggested files. I want to see all my files in the folders, so I tap on that button. And I see the poetry folder, open that up, and now I tap plus and choose doc. And this time I think I'll dictate. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. And now I want to give it a name. That's the 3 dots here. And where it says untitled document, I'm just going to type twinkle. And OK. And check mark. I'm done. When I X out, I am back to the folder and we see the 4 files. And if I went to the computer, I would see these same 4 files. It doesn't matter what device you're using, everything is in this one place on Google Drive.